So you want to hit those scorching?
Well, you came to the right place. Hi, I'm Jim Gillette from the band NITRO, and this is lesson 1 of Metal Method's Vocal Power. And that's what it's all about, power! Well, you can't race a car before you learn how to drive, just like you can't scream before you learn how to sing. It takes hard work, lots of practice, and most of all, dedication. The method of singing I've developed consists of opera training and my own style. When followed correctly, I'm sure you'll find the results amazing. When practicing the following exercises, you should not experience any pain in your throat. If you do, you're doing it wrong. But you may experience some discomfort in the muscles behind your chin, right here. This is good. This means you're working and strengthening the correct muscles. When these muscles begin to ache, stop singing and wait at least a couple of hours before practicing anymore. Also, when singing, it's helpful to drink plenty of warm tea or water. This relaxes your throat, kind of like a whirlpool relaxes your body. Make sure you don't drink anything cold because this causes your muscles to contract and tighten up, which makes singing a lot more difficult. So grab something warm to drink and we'll get started. First, I'm going to show you how to warm up. I almost didn't put this in here because it makes me look so stupid, but it's really the only thing I do before a show. Well, you know, I might hit a couple of screams or something. But it's the only real warm-up exercise I ever do. It goes like this. Don't be doing that, does it turn laugh? Okay, I know it seems strange, but it really works. It doesn't matter if you do it higher or lower, it's just a warm-up. Try it. You look crazy too, so don't be making fun of me. I'm going to do it once more, so join in and we'll all act crazy together. Now, if you can get past the weirdness of this one, it really does work. It opens up your sinuses, clears everything out, and basically just gets everything loose and ready to rock. So let's jam. The first exercise goes like this. Notice the deep resonating tone that I get. This can easily be achieved when the correct position of the mouth is used. For the E's, it's the wild smiley face. I know it looks pretty funny, but when you got a microphone, you can cover it up. So don't worry about it. Also, when you're practicing, you should have a mirror handy so you can check out your facial expressions. These faces are very important, so make sure you do them correctly. I'll demonstrate the E's once more. Now it's your turn. Remember to make the wild smiley face and try to get the same deep resonating tone that I do. Don't worry if you can't do them all, that's why you practice. And whatever you do, don't strain. This is the worst thing you can do to your voice, so remember, don't strain. Okay, if you remember the wild smiley face and didn't strain, you might have gotten a little lightheaded. Hopefully you did, because this means you're working the head voice. Head voice is when you bring your voice up into your head. You see, your skull has many cavities or holes in it where your voice bounces around. This is what causes the dizziness. These cavities or holes are what make your voice loud. It's kind of like having little amplifiers in your head. So when you're practicing these exercises, experiment a little till you feel that buzzing, and then do it that way all the time. This is where you should feel the buzzing. Now I'll demonstrate the next exercise. Be sure to use the same face and try and get the same tone that I do. Listen.
Minor, minor, mine. Minor, minor, mine. Minor, minor, mine.
Once again, you should try and get that buzzing sensation in your head. Go for it. Now before you go on, you may want to spend a little more time with the first two exercises so you can get more comfortable with them. In order to sing high, you must also practice singing low, because working your muscles going down as well as up will balance your voice. You will be able to go from low to high very smoothly. Check it out. Now let's work the voice going down. When you get down into the low notes, this works what is called the chest voice. You should feel a slight buzzing in your chest, right here. So now I'll demonstrate the E's going down. Now it's your turn. Remember that wild smile. Remember, it's better not to go all the way down and keep a good, deep quality tone than go down farther and sacrifice your tone. You may want to write down how high and how low you can go now so you can keep a good record of your progress. This will show you how much you're improving. Now I'll demonstrate the minors going down.
Minor, minor, mine. Minor, minor, mine. Minor, minor, mine.
Remember to make the same face and try to get the same tone that I get. Go for it. Good. Now we're going to work the voice going up. In this one, you need your mouth open real wide but still kind of smiling. When I do it, you'll see what I mean. You also want your voice to stay way up in your head. This is very important so you don't end up singing from your throat. This one goes like this. This one goes like this. Yes, this one goes like this. Goes like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Try to get the same vowel sound and tone that I get. This will help you get your head voice. And if you want to sing high, your head voice has got to be strong. Do it! Do it! Do it! That one's a great exercise for the head voice, and I can't stress this enough. If you want to scream real mean, nothing beats a strong head voice. For the next part of the lesson, you have to go to the practice guide on the cassette, but do not go on until you're ready. You should use this practice guide only when you're very comfortable with the lesson and can do everything correctly and easily. So if you can't, just hit rewind on the old VCR and work on everything a little more. When you use the practice guide, sit in front of a mirror to make sure you're using the correct facial expressions, drink plenty of warm tea or water, and shoot for those head and chest tones. Most importantly, remember not to strain. If you can't go all the way up or all the way down, don't worry about it. Just jot down how high and how low you can go now, and you can watch your progress. You should stay on this practice guide for at least a couple of weeks before going on to the next lesson. Oh yeah, and remember, singers do get all the babes. See ya! Yeah! Dudes! Oh. And dudettes! Sorry, honey, I didn't see you sitting there. I saw all the dudes there. You made it to lesson 2! And I'm sure if you practiced and worked hard on lesson 1, you're well on your way to becoming the singer you've only dreamed of being. And this lesson will be concentrating more on power. The technique used for the next exercise is kind of similar to the ones in lesson 1, but you need to push harder. You need to push all the way from the diaphragm. Right there. When you breathe in, don't just go like this. You'll look like a puffer kite or something. You know what I mean? Breathing in through your nose moistens and warms the air before it reaches your throat. This will eliminate the dryness you would experience if you were to breathe in through your mouth. This is a big help, especially if you're playing a gig and need to sing all night. So as simple as it seems, get it down. Don't let dry throat ruin a show. Once again, on these exercises, you really need to push from your diaphragm. This is especially true for the higher ones. But don't overdo it. Make sure you stay in the head voice and don't let your voice go back into your throat. If your throat starts getting sore, stop and wait a couple of hours before practicing anymore. You can always do it. Don't ruin your voice. It's not worth it. So if you get sore, stop, come back to it, and kick some major tail. You should have gotten your head voice down good enough in lesson 1 so you won't have to worry about this. If you didn't, just hit rewind on the old VCR. I said it once, I said it 1,000 times, I'll probably say it again. But work on it some more, you can always come back to the lessons. Anyway, this exercise is short and powerful. Check it out.
Minor, mine. Minor, mine. Minor, mine. Minor, mine. Minor, mine. Minor, mine.
Now grab something warm to drink, have that mirror handy, and rock. Remember not to worry if you can't go all the way up. Just keep checking your progress, and pretty soon you'll blow yourself away. Something else to remember is you should always practice in the cleanest, clearest, most resonating tone you can get. You may want to sing raspy in a band, but always practice in a crystal clear voice. This is very important, so learn it, love it, live it. This next one also needs a lot of power. Check it out.
Zeely mine. Zeely mine. Zeely mine. Zeely mine. Zeely mine. Zeely mine.
This one's a bit tougher than the last one, so don't worry if you can't go as high. It's harder because it's a more controlled vowel sound. Practice this one a few times and remember that wild smile. Go for it. Don't forget to be very smooth on this one. Keep practicing it until you've mastered it. Listen to my example and make sure you can do it as smoothly as I do. We've got one more exercise and then you'll be ready for the second practice guide. This one concentrates more on vowel pronunciation. It goes like this.
C-A-O-I-A, lay mine. 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 C-A-O-I-A, lay mine.
Be sure to make the same crazy faces that I do, and check out how I slide down from the first A to the second A. I'll do it once more.
C-A-O-I-A, lay mine. C-A-O-I-A, lay mine. C-A-O-I-A, lay mine. C-A-O-I-A, lay mine. C-A-O-I-A, lay
do it. Cool, now do the same one going down. Go, rock, do it, woo! Good, now we're going to mix lessons 1 and 2 together and make a new practice guide. Like before, do not go on until you've mastered all of the exercises. Your voice is the only thing that will suffer, so don't cheat. You will only limit your potential. Work on this new practice guide for at least a couple of weeks before going on to the next lesson. So until lesson 3, keep dreaming and keep on screaming. See ya! Alright, you made it to lesson 3. Your voice should be stronger than ever, and when you finish this lesson, it will be even stronger. As you've probably noticed with the first 2 lessons, in order to sing correctly, you must start from the beginning, no matter how advanced you may think you are. Just because someone can hit a high scream doesn't mean they know what they're doing. Chances are, unless they've had formal training, they'll probably burn their throat out. For example, maybe you know someone who can sing great on one day, but then the next day can't sing at all. Sounds scary, but it really happens. I'm sure you've been to a concert where the singer didn't hit the same high notes live that he did on the album. I've seen and know a lot of these singers, and the sad thing about it is, if they would have taken lessons, they'd be able to sing as good as their album night after night. What I'm getting at is if you just rush through lessons 1 and 2, go back and practice them some more. These lessons are not divided into beginner, intermediate, and advanced, but are a continuation of one another. Together, these lessons will teach you all you need to know to sing like a pro. So let's get started. The first exercise will really work your diaphragm. It goes like this.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
This one's pretty intense, so I'll do it once more. Really check out my facial expressions and make sure you get them down.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Now grab a mirror, remember those crazy faces, and go for it. Good job. Now I know this one can be pretty rough, but the more you practice it, the easier it gets. So let's do it again going down. easier going down, but like we talked about in Lesson 1, it's just as important to practice singing low as it is to practice singing high. This next one's a lot shorter, but just as intense. You really need to concentrate on being smooth on this one. Check it out. Notice how I slide from the ya to the ah. It's not two separate notes, but two notes tied together. Check it out once more. Now you do it. Be sure you're real smooth and make the same face that I did. Now do it going down. Remember, think smooth. Now we're going to work more on the diaphragm. We're going to strengthen it without even singing. All you need to do is take a deep breath using the breathing techniques taught in Lesson 2 and count as high as you can at a slow, steady rate. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You got the drift. Now you try it. Good. Now write down the number you get to and do this at least 10 times a day and you'll blow yourself away at how much you keep improving. It's a great exercise for the diaphragm. You don't need to sing, you don't need to do anything. Just take that deep breath and count. Well, we've got one more exercise and then it's time for the third practice guide. This one's a killer. Check it out. Exercise for the diaphragm. I love this one. Just make sure you use the correct faces, shoot for that tone, and be real smooth. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Now, as always, don't worry if you can't do them all. Whatever you do, don't strain. Just keep practicing, and in time you'll get there. By the way, the more you practice, the quicker that time comes. When I first started taking lessons, I practiced at least 3 to 4 hours a day, if not 5 or 6. Now, this wasn't a one-time. I'd practice an hour here, an hour there, before school, after school, anywhere and everywhere. Okay, I'll admit, I was a fanatic, but it got me to where I wanted to be. Practice, 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 practice is the key. With that in mind, let's dive into the new practice guide. Do not go onto the cassette until you've mastered all of the exercises and can do them all correctly and easily. After all, this isn't a race to see who can get through the lessons the fastest. So if you need more work, do it. This practice guide contains exercises from lessons 1, 2, and 3. If at any time you feel uncomfortable, stop and wait a couple of hours before practicing anymore. Work on this new practice guide for at least a couple of weeks before going to lesson 4. And yes, lesson 4 is the icing on the cake. Just make sure you got a great cake to put that icing on. See ya! Machine gun! Well, this is it, lesson 4. And since you've studied the entire course, I know for a fact you're singing better than you ever thought possible. If you're amazed at your progress, don't be. Just give yourself a little pat on the back and congratulate yourself on all the hard work you've done. Learning to sing correctly isn't easy, as I'm sure you found out. But once you know how, it's as simple as riding a bike. Just remember, no matter how good you get, you can always improve. You can always go higher, always go lower, and always get more powerful. That was my partner in crime, Mr. Angelo. He's definitely the fastest guitar player ever walked the face of this earth. So make sure you check out his video, Speed Kills. It's guaranteed to rip the flesh right off your face. See ya! Once you've completed these lessons, it doesn't mean you should quit practicing. It means you should practice more. You have to keep your singing muscles strong and continue to make them stronger. The stronger they are, the more practice it takes to keep them that way. So practice, practice, practice. I don't care how old or boring these exercises get, just remember there's a million other guys out there trying to make it too. What I'm going to do now is teach you the best exercise I know to help you scream. Notice I said help. This is because you can't just learn how to scream. You have to strengthen the correct muscles. The stronger these muscles are, the higher the scream. Makes sense, huh? I've taught you how to strengthen these muscles, but the rest is up to you. Do you want to make it? Who doesn't? This scream exercise works with the falsetto. It seems simple, but it's the most important exercise I can teach you regarding screams. If I ever had a trick or secret on how to scream or sing high, this is definitely it. It goes like this. Notice how light and airy it starts and how it grows and swells into a deep resonating and ringing tone. Don't worry, this isn't a scream, just an exercise. Let me show you what this...
Go on, get out. Get out of here, you bum. You're no good. You're never gonna amount to anything. I never want to see you again.
You'll see, Ma. I'll be back.
Back to the business at hand. When doing this scream exercise, make sure you use our old buddy, Mr. Wild Smile. I'll demonstrate once more. Now you try it. My turn. Now you again. My turn. Now you try it. The great thing about this one is you don't need to follow the tape to do it. You can do it in your car, on your way to school or work, wherever and whenever you want. You can do it higher or lower than me, wherever is most comfortable for you. You need to practice this one a lot, so let's do it again. Now you again. Well, I think you've got the idea. Now just do this one 24 hours a day. Just kidding. But practice this one a lot. It'll pay off. I swear. Now we're going to talk about your instrument, you. You see, singers kind of get the shaft. Let me explain. If a guitarist ruins his guitar, he just goes out and buys a new one. But if a singer ruins his voice, well, let's put it this way. I've never seen throats on sale at Kmart. So you gotta take care of yourself. This means no smoking, no drugs, and no alcohol. All of these things ruin your body. And since your throat, vocal cords, diaphragm, and lungs fall into the old body category, don't mess around. Now you're probably saying, Jim, dude, what about the parties, the clubs, the concerts? Listen, man, I go to these places all the time. I just stay straight. And I've only had to knock out a few people who tried to talk me into taking a hit of their wacky weed or whatever. So don't worry about not being the party animal drunk junkie rocker. Just practice as much as you can, eat right, and get plenty of rest. To sum it up, live a good, clean, healthy life, and your voice will thank you. Hell, it might thank you so much that you'll find yourself in a band, on stage, in front of thousands of people, and believe me, there's no better high than that. What a rush! Now, before we get into the new practice guide, I'm going to take some time to answer some of the most popular questions I've gotten while Nitro was on tour.
How old are you and how long have you been singing?
Well, I'm 23 now, and I've been singing since I was about 16, so I guess about 7 years.
How many octaves do you have?
Well, I haven't checked lately, but on the OFR tour, it was a little over 6.
Did you take lessons?
Yeah, opera lessons, and no, I couldn't sing high before them. As a matter of fact, I couldn't sing at all before them.
Dude, what's the highest note you've ever hit?
The highest note was an F on the 25th fret of the high E string on a guitar. Most guitars only have 22 or 24 frets, but some of Mike's have 36. So yes, I can sing higher than most guitars.
Oh, do you still practice?
Of course I do. When the band's rehearsing, that's all I'll do. Band rehearsals last from between 3 and 6 hours, so that's plenty. But when the band's not rehearsing, I practice whenever I get the chance.
All right. Can you really shatter glass?
Yes, I can. We import crystal wine goblets. I know it's a big fancy name, but that's what they call them. Crystal wine goblets out of Germany. I think the company was called Schatz Wiesel or something like that. And yes, I really did break the glass on the freight train video. And by the way, while we're on the glass subject, let me just tell you this. The glass is real thick. It's not the thin kind. Most of you are probably saying, yeah, right, it's the thin kind. It breaks when we drop it. Anyway, it's real thick glass. And if you've ever gone like this, just grab one of your mom's fine china glass. Just go into her case, grab a glass, and go... You got to hit that exact note and it'll break.
So, did you really get jumped by 5 guys in Canada?
Yes, I did, and I thrashed on 3 of them. Mysteriously, the other 2 just didn't want to get involved. And I was just getting warmed up. It was just starting to be fun. Anyway, enough of the question-answer game. It's time for the new practice guide. On this practice guide, everything on the cassette will go 3 notes higher and 3 notes lower. So don't worry if you can't do them all. Just keep practicing, and you'll keep improving. Also, on this practice guide, I didn't arrange the exercises in any particular order. This is because everyone's voice is different. What works great for you might not be the best for everyone. So experiment with the order, figure out what works best for you, and then do it that way all the time. If you can't figure out an order, just do the whole thing top to bottom. That's what I usually do. By the way, if you have any questions for me, just catch me when Nitro's on tour. You can usually find me right after the show hanging out by the bus. I talked to a lot of you last tour and look forward to seeing you all again. So until then, work hard, believe in yourself, and never, ever give up. I'm out of here. See ya! Ha!
What you mean to me? Just ring my finger, make me scream.